This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hey everybody, this is Chase from Barrel Age Flicks. Go ahead and check out our Patreon for raw, uncut footage and early access to all of our episodes. The link is in the description, and it's only $5 a month. Thanks for listening.
Listen, asshole!
You listen, you little bitch. If you hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand?
If they watch prom night, they'd save time. There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
Hello, Sydney.
We've got a serial killer on our hands.
Well, serial killer's not really accurate. Gotta knock off a couple more to get that title.
Scary night, isn't it? With the murders and all, it's like right out of a horror movie or something.
Hello?
Oh, Stu. What's your motive? Billy's got one. The police are on their way. What are you gonna tell them?
Peer pressure.
Do you like scary movies, Sydney?
I like that thing you're doing with your voice, Randy. It's sexy.
What's your favorite scary movie?
You see, Sid, everybody dies but us. Everybody dies but us. We're gonna carry on and plan the sequel, because let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
Are you alone in the house?
Randy, that's so unoriginal. I'm disappointed in you.
Maybe that's because I'm not Randy.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos or create a...
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Not in my movie.
Hey everybody, this is Barrel Age Flicks. I'm Lenny, yeah man, and this is...
Hey, this is Ron. Let's drink and talk some movies.
And
Hey guys, this is Sammy. Let's do this.
we also have...
What's going on, you fucking nerds? This is Tyler. Let's talk about some modern mythology.
And finally...
This is Stu. Let's drink, motherfucker.
All right, you guys, so today's episode is going to be on the original 1996 Scream. Very excited about this one. This is Sammy's pick. So, Sammy, I'm going to lob it over to you and let you take it from here.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I think we're all excited about this one, obviously being, you know, how pinnacle this film was for us.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So, that being said, so to find a boozy concoction to go with said show, took me and Ron to an adventure to Total Wine, where I found this beer called Wraith with really, really cool can art. It's basically a Grim Reaper on this really like pretty blue can. This is a Belgian style wit beer. I'm sorry if I botched that, but it is provided from Vanish Farmwoods Brewery out of Leesburg, Virginia.
Oh, so it's a local beer.
It is a local beer. And so
Nice.
I found this on untapped.com. And it's gotten like mixed reviews, but it is a 5.3 ABV, which I'll pass that over to Stu, our resident alcoholic, to know what that actually means. But it is a Wraith. Wraith is a Belgian-style wit beer that provides you with notes of citrus, chamomile, and coriander. What
the hell is coriander?
That is cilantro before it becomes cilantro.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Oh.
I knew what coriander.
You're welcome.
But I didn't know it was cilantro. Pre-ejaculate.
Yes, it's pre-sprouting. Coriander seeds is what coriander comes from, and if they grow, they become cilantro. So anyway, that's a different show. So let's move on.
And of course, I'll have this on the Instagram, the picture of the can, so y'all can see it.
Yes, but the reason I selected it, because obviously you have our killer Ghostface in Scream, very, very wraithy looking, very Grim Reaper-y. And also when we get into the show, I'll also relate another little tidbit about another reason it really, really ties in. So anyways, with that being said, go ahead and pop the tops, guys.
Oh, yeah. And answer your little comment.
The ABV thing?
Yeah, that's the alcohol percentage. So that's less than 11 proof is what you would do it. So it's about on line with most average beers.
Okay, so it's no more or worse.
All right, cheers, guys. Prost.
All right.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
Okay.
So I'll kick it off here. It's got like a... Hold on.
I can taste the coriander.
This is so weird. It's got a very...
It tastes like a light beer.
It's got like a light, crisp kind of a taste.
What's a wheat beer? I would figure.
Weirdly enough, it kind of reminds me actually more of like even though it's got the Reaper on it. It gives me more of a summer vibe just with the taste.
Yeah.
But it's pleasant. I like this a lot, actually. It's not bad at all.
See, I'm gonna
So
go.
how many-
Actually,
how
it
many
works
thumbs?
for a fall beer for me because I taste that spice, in the center of my tongue afterwards. That heavy spice level.
I give you that. I don't know. I mean, I guess I give it 2 thumbs up. Like one of the reasons why I give a beer 2 thumbs up is that. Sorry. As I can
That's good beer.
Yeah. The proof is in the belching. No, is it a beer that I could pick up, enjoy, and then want another one? Yes. So I give it 2 thumbs up.
So good killability. Oh, see what I did there?
This right here is a 2
Oops, sorry,
thumbs
not
up.
allowed to do finger guns.
Yeah.
This is a 2 thumbs up. The reason why it's got that taste, it feels like it's actually something I can feel like I can just keep drinking them and drinking them and drinking them like water. It's not something that is a slow drink. I'm already halfway through the can. This is good. I can tell by the whole fall thing that you're saying. I can see that. I think this is
because they have that little warmth from the spice.
Yeah, no, I actually
That might
really,
actually be like not kidding. That might actually be the coriander.
You said this had this is good. No, this is 2 thumbs up. I actually would buy more of this. We do have more of this, by the way. So definitely, I like it. How about you, Stu?
I'm actually gonna give it 2 thumbs up. I really am. It's definitely a Belgian style.
Yes,
It 100% is.
Yeah, no, you're bringing some good drinks.
It is no candy corn shot. I will say that.
Ergo, Stu's new basic white bitch drink.
Yes.
The candy corn shot.
We're basic together, Stu.
Yay!
Some basic bitches on this podcast.
The spice
I don't
works
have a
really
shit drink.
well. Gives you a nice little warmth inside of there.
Yes, no, I agree.
But no, definitely a great pick, Sam.
That
Great
could-
pick.
that could be the
I've already
coriander.
finished my can. I'm
Very well
ready.
could be.
I'm almost ready for another one. Seriously, that's some good shit right there. So good job, Sammy. Great job bringing another beer. That's great. That's 2 in a row.
All right, I'm 2 for 2. I've had way more shittier drinks than I should.
So let's
All
go.
right.
Let's go ahead and
But
get into the
you
movie.
found my drink.
The ultimate stew cocktail. All right. So anyway, so Scream was released by Wes Craven, director, of course, in 1996, and honestly was so iconic because it really did bring, again, kind of like in the 80s, there were a lot of, the teen slashers, but really, I think for 90s generation, this one like really brought it because you had like the, what was it? Where the call's coming from inside the house. What was that? The one, the babysitter that was super, super big. It's gotten remade and stuff.
Drew Barrymore. What do you mean?
No, there was another film. Where
No.
The call's coming from inside the house.
From the 70s.
Okay.
When a stranger calls.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Lenny. Where like it's that this actually, if I read one webpage after the release of Scream, it literally caller ID like went through the roof. Basically, it terrified everybody. Which again, as we know, much like Jaws, inspiring that level of sheer panic and pandemonium.
Right.
It's very, very cool when that happens. And when you get to be part of it, it's a really cool thing too. So that being said, we're going to start breaking this film down. I want to, of course, this is the first episode of our October slasher series. I wanted to bring Ghostface to the forelight. He's one of my favorite slashers. Again, it's a super fun one. And
but it's so funny is because Ghostface is different people all the time.
oh yeah,
All the
no,
movies,
but it's
a
that
different person.
iconic image. If you
Yeah.
see it, you know what it is. It doesn't matter if you grew up with it or you watch it now. The moment you see the mask, you know exactly what you're in store for.
Which is funny because that costume was around before this movie, and I never really. I just Ghostface. Okay, cool. Because there's several different like types of
Variations,
Ghostfaces.
yeah.
Yeah, see,
and then this movie came out, and instantly that became like the Ghostface.
Yes.
I actually dressed up like the Ghostface from Scary Movie, the one with the tongue sticking out and everything
Yeah.
else. I actually did that for one Halloween one year. Yeah.
which we're going to talk about Scary Movie as
Yeah,
one of the
considering that
best spoofs I think out there.
Yeah, considering there was a mask that was found when they were doing location scouting for the film because they still hadn't nailed down what the killer was going to look like.
Yeah.
They said, mass killer is all said in the script. Mass killer, mass killer, mass killer. When they were doing location scouting, one of the PAs found an old Halloween costume sitting in one of the houses they were scouting, and they brought it to Wes Craven. He's like, "Yep, That's it. That's goddamn the
what's
killer
that
right
matter?
there.
I think that's the reason why is because
Anybody can be the killer.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a
Yeah.
very like there's a scene in the high school where one of the stupid high school students put on the exact costume and he's like, "What?" He's running around being a jackass.
Well,
in the hallways,
remember the
which is what
sheriff
makes it so scary.
when Deputy Dewey, was it Dewey?
Yeah.
Dewey, yeah.
Dewey.
Dewey and the sheriff were talking about it and how he pulled up the whole costume. He says that this is sold all over the country. There's
Well,
like hundreds.
yes. So let's go ahead and we'll kick the proverbial can off with that. So again, Wes Craven doing the purposeful red herring like throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
I thought was brilliant. It was a new kind of fresh thing to do. Throwing it off where you even see like the boots. Like, so for me, one of the big scenes was, and to this day I still check all the stalls in the bathroom when I go into a bathroom by myself. One, because I'm a girl, but also like this movie fucked me up a little bit. So like, but I don't like do where she does where she just is like, oh, I'm gonna look underneath. I like power kick the shit out of stalls because if they're on a toilet, I'm gonna hit them with the door.
Like, why is this door broken?
And
Pee.
Ron checks for the stalls for different reasons. He's seeing if there's somebody there for the glory hole occupation.
Oh, good gosh! Like, what was it?
You are a asshole. Shut up.
Which spoof was that? Was that in the Scary Movie where it's like you see
That was
like
the Scary Movie too.
Yeah.
That's Scary Movie too. Yeah, no, that. What is
And the
that? You
thing
see a
goes
fucking
through it.
cock come out of the fucking hole.
Oh my gosh! It was
And it
so
stabs him in the head
Yes.
with it.
freaking. Oh my goodness, so funny. But
I'm going to say this flat out: Scary Movie 1 and 2. First Scary Movie, the first one is by far one of the best spoofs ever of.
no, and we were going to totally get into that.
Yeah.
Legit. But so anyway, so in the scene, of course, from Scream, you see the boots drop.
Yeah.
And then you see just the cloak kind of descend. You already know
Yeah.
what's going on. But the fact that, again, then you see the sheriff with literally the same boots and just the constant red, or you see fucking Fonzie lose his shit with like scissors and he's like, yeah, no, to be equal, we'd have to gut you and hang you. I mean, I thought it was brilliant. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on it. So go.
It was perfect. It really was. It was a modern introduction for our generation of a slasher. Freddy was he started out realistically before all of our times.
Yeah.
Realistically.
You liked that little cameo, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
The sweater, the
with-
janitor
yeah.
wearing Freddy's outfit.
Yeah.
His name was Fred. The
Yeah,
guy's,
that was
the
Wes
janitor's name was
Craven.
Fred.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jason was before our time. Michael Myers started out before our time. We didn't have a killer of our own, a slasher of our own that became iconic, really. And
It's
this-
actually a good question upon itself. Like, what's our most modern ones that have come out now in our time, other than Ghostface? But go ahead.
and that's what it gave to us. It gave our generation, the generation that already grew up on horror movies, so we already knew the tropes and the rules and everything else that went along with it. We already knew that just from growing up in the time that we did and all these established wonderful horror films. And it gave a way to seem kind of realistic because these weren't supernatural, people. These weren't, Jason coming back from the dead, somebody affecting your fucking nightmares, the unkillable shape from Halloween.
Yeah.
This wasn't that. It was, it's regular people who are now going to, like Matthew Lillard said, horror movies don't create serial killers and make serial killers more creative.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
That was perfection personified. It really was for our generation, and I loved it. I really, really did. I'm a huge fan of Wes Craven, and even though he didn't write,
Stu said that line? Because it was Billy.
I don't think I said anybody's. I think they said that line.
Well, I know that
Did I say?
Stu.
And technically, Stu did say the line because I just said the line.
No. Matthew Lillard, not Stu currently.
So Stu, Matthew Lillard's character was the one that said, she asked like how they even went about framing the Cotton Weary. And he said, watched a few movies, took a few notes.
Yes.
It was fun.
Yeah,
like,
fun.
And that's the thing is like what Stu's saying here is that like, there was enough horror movies and enough slasher movies that were out, around the time that we were that age that it's realistic that someone could watch these movies and like actually take it serious. Like, where did they fuck up where I wouldn't fuck up, and how could I do this and not get caught and become a somewhat effective serial killer?
That's
that's essentially what they did.
That's the thing that I loved about this movie is how it just kind of gone with all the older movies of the time of the 80s and 70s and stuff like that. I love how they bring it up and they basically take all the tropes and everything from that and they learn. And I love how Billy is just bringing up shit, like especially the whole thing about the blood when he is showing corn syrup was used in Carrie. I mean, I fucking loved all of that. It's
Unless
just
you watch scary movies, which is like, it's what mom puts on the spaghetti and it's ketchup.
So overall, man, I fucking love this movie. It's got so much great shit in it. Like I said, the ending is just amazing, and I love it. I'm looking forward to talking more about it.
Is this movie like 2 thumbs up your ass?
Shut the.
There it is.
Really?
There it is.
I didn't. It meant 2 thumbs my ass. I don't even know why I put up in there. So,
Words are hard.
Seriously, what the fuck?
I guess now we should change it to punctuation is hard.
You have some weird proctologist.
Okay, I'm not a fast talker.
All right, you're gonna feel some pressure. Like, why are you using 2 thumbs? Oh God. Sorry.
You're the only person after a rectal exam that is left gaping.
You are an asshole.
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh, the visual's not pretty on that.
Get back to the movie.
I was gonna.
What segue is after that? Sorry.
I don't know.
Let's get back to this 96
so
amazing
speaking
movie.
of getting reamed in the ass, these ghost guys were something. No, so one of the things I loved about this movie, I went to the movies when I was I was in like 6th, 7th grade when I went and saw this movie in theaters. I actually went and saw it on a blind double date, and we the first time I saw the movie, it was a little scary, but the thing that I loved about it was that, you know, it kept you guessing, like, who the fuck is the killer? And they did such a good job at throwing you off of Billy Loomis's character's scent, because at first you're like, oh, it's him, fucking for sure. But then, like, time goes on, he gets arrested, then another phone call comes out, and like, well, okay, it couldn't have been him. And it's just, it keeps throwing you off. And here's the thing that I find interesting is that each one of the guys, the 2 guys that were involved, if you watch the movie a second time, you can almost like, okay, that's so-and-so, that's so-and-so. But it never occurs to you that it could be more than one person until the end. And then I was like,
are you saying it's that so-and-so because you think that's the way it's being portrayed, or that's who's actually wearing the mask at the time? Or are you saying just because of timeline-wise, you're figuring out who it is?
I was actually just talking to Sammy about this last night, actually. So it actually was confusing me on trying to figure out which is which. And then she said
which is actually, again, a tribute to Wes Craven's and actually their camera guy, because the difference in height between Billy and fucking Matthew Lillard is a lot.
I want to say there was only one scene.
The scene where Billy pops into the window, you obviously knew that Stu was the killer, because it literally happens like almost simultaneously.
Yeah, but no, I want to say there was only one scene where where one of those 2 was actually wearing the outfit. All the other times it's a stunt guy.
Yeah.
And the only reason that they let him is because Skeet said, no, I want to wear the fucking outfit for at least one time. I want to embody his character at least one time.
Oh, so he actually did it for one of the
scenes? Yes, but every other time, in order to just like the voice is never them.
No, it's the late Roger L. Jackson.
Yes, and which he did the voice throughout the entire series.
Yes.
Even the 4th one?
Yeah. So they do the voice throughout the entire series. It's played by a different person.
Ron might have to do a punishment shot for a Murloc. Sorry about that.
I was just letting it roll, but hey, since you brought attention to it.
Dude, she just threw you under the bus, bro.
Since you brought attention.
No, but I have to fucking take it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Take it with both thumbs.
Yes.
That's fucking
right up your anus.
Fist pound, fist pound.
That's exactly what his proctologist does.
Fuck you all.
Back in the bus into the garage.
My bad. My bad.
Oh, he looks so angry. Glug, 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 bitch. But yeah, like I was saying, so
my bad.
Only one time was it not, somebody else playing those, as either the voice or as the embodiment of Ghostface. And that's why I was trying to get a little clarification. So timing wise.
No, so what I'm trying to talk about is not necessarily like which actor was doing it at the time, but literally like which character per the timeline in the story was the one doing it each time.
Gotcha.
And like you watch it the second time, peanut butter.
It's so nutty.
It's so good. So the second time I watched the movie, because that's the thing, this movie was so good.
It's gotten worse through time.
Yeah.
I agreed to go to the movies again with some other friends to watch it again. And the second time around, I was able to piece together a little bit more of what was going on, and 2, like it was, I didn't pick up on the hilarity of stuff.
Counting's hard now too.
Fingers and numbers are hard.
You literally just went 2, and he's got 3 fingers.
2 times. I'm holding up 3 fingers. Anyways, But the second time around, like I was able to appreciate the comedy in it a lot more.
Yeah,
and we'll get into that too. But
Skeet didn't know that it had comedy elements when he was doing it. Supposedly, what I read,
I think the comedy was.
He was seeing
balanced.
Matthew Lillard acting kind of fucking goofy. He's seeing Jamie Kennedy acting fucking kind of goofy.
You know, the thing
and
about
he goes
Matthew
to
Lillard-
Wes. He goes to Wes Craven. He's like, "What the fuck's going on with these guys?"
Well, the thing about Matthew Lillard
he was
is
believing that this was a horror movie, like a straight, true horror movie, because most of his shit is straight, true horror. You know?
No, I mean he breaks his fucking mind on this film.
But Matthew Lillard sounds more the way that he portrays his role. He's a comedy, but he's also very psychotic. Like, I mean, just in the ending scene, he seems like he's really out of his mind.
Oh, he's a follower.
He's totally,
it's a classic alpha and
Beta. Alpha beta.
Is that the word?
Yes.
I know there's an actual
Alpha beta.
word for serial killers. Followers.
Oh no, I thought you meant like alpha and like animal.
No, there's an actual word they use for a master and a subservient role and that type of thing, because there's numerous serial killer couples that follow that, where you have a more primary a dominant and a subservient type roles.
That I don't know, unfortunately.
Well, see, that's the thing. They were friends like the whole time, and basically, like, I'm sure Billy just asked him, "Hey, I need you to help me with this," and then he kind of
Billy just told him, "You are doing this," and Matthew Lillard was like, "Okay."
Well, and then
sounds fun.
and then I think he found
He was
his
one
own
fucking-
bloodlust,
Yes.
and then grew into that like.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally down
I think
for
it's the,
killing people.
It's the
Matthew
rush
Lillard
of being
would-
able to do something that's extremely wrong, and the idea of being able to get away with it. That's what he was so excited about.
Yeah, he's an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
But going off of Lenny's kind of like his introduction into the film, I'm curious. Let's go round table. So when was the first time? What was your situation for seeing Scream?
It was in the theaters on a date. Got my first blowjob in a public place to that movie.
Oh my God!
Yes.
This must have been.
Yes.
This was obvious. Well, then that didn't happen when they saw
Wait,
Scream 2.
How old were you?
Oh, so it was 96.
Oh, no,
so I was
it's gonna
14. Yeah.
She's a whore too.
Dear God, I want to say I was 12 or 13 when I went to be. I'll get into mine.
I want to say I was 14.
So, public blowy.
My first public blowy, which was amazing.
Oh my God!
I was already a huge Wes Craven fan, so it was like
that's the world.
yes,
solidified it.
So it just became like, I will remember this forever. No, but it did a really good job. It was probably one of the first couple weeks in, because I remember it was around Christmas time that it came out. And as a horror fan, Christmas time it's devoid of horror movies for the most part. So I was really happy to see a fucking horror movie.
Right.
I was like, oh, awesome, cool. And it's from Wes Craven. Fucking even better. Especially since I had started to lose a little feeling for Wes Craven, feeling that he was starting to play more safe and not leaning into his horror roots. So to lean into something that's, horror driven, I was like, all right, very cool. And then I saw it. I fucking fell in love with it. I love the two killers, as a way of providing an explanation of all the distractions they were going. It worked out so well. I was very appreciative. It walked that fine line of comedy and horror in a successful way that it could seem like it could happen anywhere, and the fact that the killers were embracing technology. I really enjoyed that. It was no longer just some supernatural stuff or some just plain muscle-bound dude just destroying shit. No, these were people that were being smart, using the tools that they had in front of them, and going out, and it fit the generation so well. I was super appreciative.
You know what's a great thing about it too is also Ghostface. Both of them, they were both like fucking each other up, just trying to get to the killer. I mean, they were falling down the stairs, hitting. Flipping over. I mean, they were doing all kinds of shit, getting hit. I mean, hit with the fucking beer bottles from Rose McGowan, I believe.
Oh, dude, I was surprised Tatum went down as easy as she did, getting crunched in the fucking like super powerful. That is an impressive motor on that door.
Yeah,
it's just very torquey. It's just very torquey.
It's something.
Very unrealistic.
Not
really.
To lift up
I don't
like
think
a
so.
105-pound body.
I don't never.
You know
heard
how
of
heavy these doors actually are?
No, I'd say
Fair.
commercial.
I know, but you're talking about the weight of the door, and then literally
I know,
Rose
that's what I'm
McGowan maybe
saying.
like
But
110.
you see them moving the doors, no problem, and the doors got some weight to them as it is.
Yeah, but
still
they're
don't think
made
it-
for
I don't
that.
think-
So, but that little weight, the McGowan was tiny. So I read something that she was falling out of the fucking, the cat door so often they actually
versus the fat squealy chick again in Scary
They had
Movie.
to fucking staple her shirt to the fucking
To keep her from,
falling out. So she was so small. So that little bit of extra weight that it was adding to what the motor was pulling,
All right, possible.
really wasn't that much.
How about you, Lenny?
No, Ron, we need to know your viewing experience for when this film came
Well,
out.
I was going to hand it off to Lenny, then I was going to go, but I guess I'll go.
He
next.
already went.
Well,
He
I
started
kind of.
it.
I
Oh,
just
sorry.
all I said was I was on a date. I didn't really go.
Oh, well, then finish your experience.
Yeah, go
We're
ahead,
sorry,
Lenny.
Lenny.
What's your date as cool as my date?
So I
Obviously not because he was 12.
So I had popcorn.
Ew.
That was popcorn.
Boys are
was
gross.
good and soda. No, so I went on a double date.
It was so salty.
That's what she said afterwards.
So no, so oh god.
This show's going someplace else, isn't it?
So I was like 12, 13, and sadly enough, this was the first time I went on this date, and it was a friend of mine and his girlfriend, and he's like, "Hey, my girlfriend has a cousin. Do you want to go on this double date?" And I was like, because it's a blind date. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
So then I meet her, and I'm like, okay, she's cute. Cool. Okay, this is cool. And she thought I was attractive, so like that's cool. And they went to this movie, and it was the first time I'd ever like made out with a girl before. Like that's how I was 12, 13.
So you remember this movie more for making out with a girl than watching
Yeah, it was
the
my
movie.
first time ever like full on making
So
out
now
with
we
a girl.
have let's see,
'Cause-
making out, and we got a first blowjob.
Yeah, so mine was a little
Public blow.
mine was a little bit more innocent.
Public blow.
because
It wasn't my first blow.
I kissed girls before, but that was it.
Yeah.
And then so I was making out with this girl, and it was cool, but like she had like really bad breath, and it was like I was like, ugh. Yeah, it was very like I was like she's cute and like I'm enjoying this, but it's kind of gross, and I didn't know what to do, so I just like okay, so I just kept like making out with her. And then like
What is wrong with guys?
I had to tell my friend, I was like, bro, like I don't know what she ate or what's going on.
What, anchovies?
So then like the next time we went
Why
on a
she
date.
smell like Meow Mix?
Yeah. The next time we went on a date, she had like chewing gum, and so someone said something to her, and she didn't say anything to me about it, so that was cool. But I just
Hey, trash mouth, take care of your
yeah.
situation.
I was like, I didn't know what to say, but I'm like, yeah, your mouth tastes gross. Like this isn't. I'm not enjoying this. So like the first time like I kissed a girl that didn't have bad breath, I was like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be like. This is pleasant. Okay, because the first time I was kind of like, I think this is cool, but it tastes gross and her breath smells.
Thank goodness the next one was good. Otherwise, they made it flipped you, Lenny.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's weird. It's so gross. So yeah,
Would've
so
been a
that
Ron
was
and
that was
Lenny marriage.
that was my experience with that movie. Like she kept wanting to like make out with me, and after like the first couple times I made out with her, I was like, it doesn't taste good. So then like I would try to avoid kissing her by like watching the movie. She'd be like leaning in. I'm like,
You know what?
I'd start laughing and point. I'd do something to kind of like
I feel like that would have been like the perfect time to like randomly go out to the concession, bring like a bunch of fucking junior mints, just be like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No.
I got
When
you, Junior Mints. Please eat
the
these.
right move is you start chewing a piece of gum. Then when you're making out, you pass it to her.
And then she chokes and dies in the theater.
She's like,
Either way, problem solved. All right.
So yeah, so it's kind of an innocent but weird dating story for me. Yeah.
Mine's kind of boring, really. To tell you the truth,
It doesn't involve a chick?
no,
I'm surprised.
It doesn't. Believe it or not, the
Mine started chewing gum afterwards too. It was weird.
Oh, God.
All right.
The sound you're hearing is my skin physically crawling.
All right. It's the same as it. I wasn't interested in seeing this movie. I didn't really care. I wasn't into movies back then when I was younger. I wasn't really into watching and trying different movies at the time. When I saw it, there was a big hype about it and everything else. I was like,
Did
whatever.
you see it in theaters?
No, I did not. That's what I'm saying. I rented it one time, and when I first saw it, it was like, it was okay and everything else. But like I said, it was one of those movies that I watched over and over again through time, and I gained more respect for it and enjoyed it more. It just wasn't something I enjoyed at the first time, but I actually love it now more than anything. I don't really care about the sequels other than Scream 2 was good. I didn't mind Scream 2, but Scream 3 and 4 are fucking garbage in my opinion. Although Jay and Silent Bob make a nice cameo in the third one, so you know that one.
I know what you're saying. I'm just letting you finish your
know
thought.
Jay and Silent Bob, right?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't see
Wait a minute,
Mallrats.
you didn't see Mallrats, are you sure?
No, but I saw Clerks 1 and 2, and
Yeah.
I've seen Dogma.
All right.
Okay, just making sure.
We don't know. We
But-
don't know.
We
just don't know.
It gained more respect in my time to the point
That's what
where I
his
even
parents said
said,
about his sexuality.
Jesus.
It's because of that meow mix breath.
My opinion changed.
We just don't know.
My opinion changed a lot for this movie, though, even after doing our People Under the Stairs episode, because that was my number one Wes Craven film of all time. But then I changed over to this one being my number one Wes Craven, because I think this is probably Wes Craven's best effort. Yes.
It's so entertaining.
Really? Better than Nightmare on the original Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, I even say I'm not a big fan of the Freddy movies. They're not my favorite, believe it or not.
I'm not a fan of all of the Freddy movies, but Nightmare was pretty,
still, no, not my all-time.
Wow.
I actually think that this is
20 years, Ron. Wow.
This is one of his best movies. I'm sorry.
I thought you had really been a big fan of Nightmare too.
Right?
You are an asshole.
Oh, jeez.
You are an asshole. But yeah, no, overall, that's basically mine. I got through a movie rental. I went to Video World, I believe, and rented this movie.
Video World? Back when they were a thing.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Family Video. Video World wasn't there. It was Family Video at the time.
All
so
right.
that's basically what it was. Mine was boring compared to Stu's blowjob and Lenny's kissing fantasy. So there you go.
It's not
Meow
a
mix.
fantasy.
Meow mix.
Making out with a garbage can is not a fantasy.
Maybe it's your fantasy.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Could you imagine that conversation when you came, Mom, I don't like kissing girls. They smell bad.
They taste bad.
Their mouth tastes like garbage.
How about you, Sammy?
So being the resident token chick on the podcast, mine was very different. I was about like 10 and I was at a sleepover with my friend who was like, I don't know, she was maybe like 8 or 9, but her brother was like maybe a year or so older than me. And they had the VHS of Scream, and I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies.
Wow. Does anybody remember
So
VHS?
Popped it into the
I don't.
into the player and watched it and was fucking terrified. Like, I honestly, it really disturbed me for a really long time because, again, it was just very much like my experience with It. I had never been exposed to films like that, and so it really, really shook me up. And it wasn't like I could go home and be like, I watched this movie to my mom, so I'm just sitting there like in my room being like, they're going to show up and kill me. It's going to happen.
I'm going to bring this up. When we first started dating, we watched Jeepers Creepers for the first time, and oh my God, she wouldn't leave me alone. It
terrified
me. So scared of that movie.
Yeah, and now sadly, I've officially, after 2 decades together with Ron, I'm actually more warped than he is. Like, I've literally watched all the Annabelles, all of this, all of that, and he just comes to me and he's like, "What do you think of the most recent Child Play?" I'm like, "It's garbage. Don't waste your fucking time."
Exactly.
It was horrible.
No, see,
it was horrible.
I can kind of top those because the first movie, horror, I guess you'd call it horror movie, that fucked my mind up. I was about around this age. I saw Scream, and again, Scream, it was scary in the sense of the jump scare parts, but I wasn't like, oh no, a guy's stabbing people. Oh, I'm so scared. That didn't scare me. It was just like the jumping out part. And then the second time I saw the movie, I laughed through the whole movie. I thought it was fucking hilarious. What fucked up my mind was I walked in. My mom and my stepdad were watching, I don't know if you remember this, but they had these videos called Traces of Death, and it was videos.
Faces of Death. Faces of Death.
That should be a punishment.
No,
Faces of Death.
Not traces. It's not traces,
I'm
Lenny.
recalling
Faces of
something
Death.
from when I was 12.
No,
and
no,
I've
they
never-
were-
I'm not calling it a
Faces.
punishment shot on that.
It's Faces of Death,
Well,
but
and that's like nothing but a compilation of legit people fucking dying, like actual real shit.
Yeah.
And the one
And animals.
the one that I saw was like the one where the
It's all
guy.
fake, though.
This was
There's some that
the
are.
one where the guy has.
They're inner.
Well, there was a scene that I'll never forget where the guy was doing some speech at a podium. He was like a politician. And all of a sudden, he just pulls a gun out. And
that's real.
everyone starts panicking. And he goes, no. And he puts the gun up to his fucking mouth and blows his brains out. And
I want to say that was probably in Romania, if I remember correctly.
No, because he was speaking English. They were all in. It was all in English. And this dude,
I think that's real.
Instant blood, everything coming out. Like it was completely real. And it was the whole video was nothing but real shit. And my mom and stepdad didn't know that I was like on the stairs watching it while they were watching it. And I shit you not, I didn't sleep for 3 days. For 2 nights in a row, I sat in a ball and stared at the wall in my room. I was afraid to shut my eyes because I'd start seeing that shit in my dreams. Like
That's
it
crazy.
fucked my mind up.
Yeah, no. And for me, ironically, it was the whole like killer thing, but then again, it wasn't. It was actually, for me, it was the gore. My dad served 2 tours in Vietnam. May he rest in peace. So like we weren't allowed to have guns in our house. He was very like, we didn't watch shit like that, which is weird because then he also took me to with him to see Rising Sun when I was 5, and that was totally
God.
okay.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
Holy shit.
like, all I remember being 5 is a giant boob and then my dad's hand. Like, that's all I remember. But like, no, like legitimately, we
What
weren't
sort
allowed.
of looks did he get?
I don't know. I was 5.
I mean-
Again, big boob and then dad's hand, and that's kind of
That's
all
like
I remember.
that's like a rape scene going over.
Oh
and
yeah,
over
no.
again.
My mother to this day is like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. No, so but like we weren't allowed to watch like gory
explains
shit.
a lot, too.
We weren't allowed to watch gory shit or anything that really like kind of made a profit off violence because my dad was fucked up so bad from the war that it just wasn't allowed. So for me, it was seeing Drew Barrymore gutted like a fish. Because before that,
Or her boyfriend too. Her boyfriend. I mean, his fucking.
you know what? It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that because I honestly didn't even remember the fucking thing with Steve. I didn't care about that. It was seeing her hanging that really just fucked me up.
Yeah.
And then now, obviously, like I've been properly warped, and now I can
So-
come on this podcast and talk about scary shit.
I'm gonna throw out a funny story real quick. That's kind of
better than
falls-
Meow Mix.
No, falls. Yeah, no, I think so. Falls in line with that, with like bringing a 5-year-old to a scary movie. So I went to see Resident Evil 2, and
That one sucked.
No, I know, but I went to go see that movie in theaters, and I kept hearing this like fucking screaming specifically whenever the Nemesis dude would come out. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like it was over the top.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, like I look over my shoulder.
Small child. In
No,
the theater.
worse.
What? Grown-ass
These
man?
two guys brought their younger, mentally challenged brother.
Aww.
Yes, and
poor
every time Nemesis specifically would come on the screen,
freaked as shit.
it was as if he was there, and this kid would go "Ah!" at the top of his lungs, and I was like,
feel so bad.
and I'm like, you're literally traumatizing the fuck out of this mentally challenged kid. Like, what are you doing?
I would have been laughing.
You're going to hell. Like, take him out of
Well,
here.
apparently Ron will meet them there. Ron will just be late.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
This way.
I'm kind of agreeing with Ron.
You would be there too. These are the
If
fuckers
I
on the
had-
welcome committee to hell. Like,
If I had
felt
a
bad.
mentally
I
challenged
would've.
sibling that wanted to kind of see this stuff, I would be loving it.
No,
With me.
this kid was traumatized, and he kept
So bad.
screaming, and I was like, obviously, he's not screaming out of entertainment. He is
No, he's
legitimately
freaking
fucking scared.
out. Oh,
Take him
man.
out of here. You guys are assholes.
It's
and
the
it
same.
was
It's the
the
same
whole
when you
movie.
see like babies. Like
See, I
we've gone
dealt
to
with theater
movies
stuff like
and
that.
literally seen babies at horror movies, and they're like, "Rah!" and like their parents are like, and I'm like, what the fuck are they here?
All right, you know, Scary Movie 2 does a whole theater scene that kind of copies Scream 2
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
else.
Yeah.
I've actually seen that happen. I've seen people in the theater. I went and saw The Haunting, which is really not scary at all. It's not scary at all. It's actually a pretty crap movie, but it's entertaining. It's to me, it's a
But it's
bad
not something
movie.
you bring your kids to.
No. The Haunting, there was this chick that kept saying, "Oh, don't go in there, girl. Don't go in there. You better not go in there." I mean, like, I seriously heard that shit. I was thinking, that's Scary Movie 2. That shit happened in Scary Movie, where the
Yeah.
girl was being annoying in the theater.
and
saying
then the
that.
dude stabbed her, and everyone was like, "Yay!"
I like how the Pope gets up and hits her with something.
I was thinking,
Shoe
man, I
snatcher. This is for Schindler's List.
this is for Amistad.
It's great. It was again, the first two scary movies, they really do. Like they still to this day hold it up. All right, but
So anyways, back to the movie.
Yeah, let's
We're
get back
derailed,
into
I'm
it. Anyway,
sorry.
so those are all kind of our cool, like, unique experiences in seeing this film. So that being said, I do have a little kind of fun background information about the origin of Ghostface.
Go ahead.
That I was reading about. Another reason, so I picked Wraith, the beer with the Reaper on it, which is iconic because you have the song "Don't Fear the Reaper" sung by Gus Black throughout the film, and also the Ghostface is loosely based on an actual slasher that happened in 1990 called the Gainesville Ripper. This guy killed 5 different students in Gainesville, Florida in 1990, and of course was eventually caught, convicted. He actually died of lethal injection on October 25th, 2006, and his name was Danny Rolling.
Oh, wow.
So Ghostface legitimately is based on an actual like co-ed killer,
See, I
an
didn't
actual
know. I thought
American,
this was
an
just
American
original.
serial killer.
So that idea right there gave the writer the idea
Kevin
of,
Williamson.
Yeah, the opening scene, basically a killer calling on the phone call, fucking with a high school / college age chick, and
co-ed,
just using that sort of weirdness. And so he wrote it as a short story, and he kept it a short story for a long time. Then he started running out of fucking money, teaching Mr. Tingle. He was hoping it was going to be a huge, thing. It did get bought, but not nearly as much as he was expecting it to. So he's like, fuck it, I need to produce something with some goddamn money, which he actually called it Scary Movie, is what the title of the film was. And then he goes ahead and writes this out. And if I remember correctly, it was released to Hollywood as a whole on a Friday. And by Monday, there's a massive fucking bidding war of who's going to end up fucking owning the rights to this goddamn film. And he had even already planned, he knew that going back, like Literally said, there's always going to be a sequel. And nowadays, he had included at the end of the script a 5-page treatment for Scream 2. And he had already had a 5-page treatment for Scream 3 to basically entice the production studios. Like, you buy this, and if it does well, we're set up for a fucking goddamn series.
Yeah, so the franchise. Thing is, Kevin Williams is a great writer. He's wrote other 2 movies. The one that I love. Written 2 other movies. The Faculty. You guys have seen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great fucking movie.
Yeah.
And also the one that I haven't seen, which you guys are probably giving me shit about. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
What?
Again, it was another.
Hey,
my God! Hey, don't be throwing insults, Mallrat boy.
I'm your thing.
I can.
I didn't see it.
You can.
I can.
Boy, you've seen pretty much every movie at this point. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm on a fucking podcast about goddamn movies. I would expect to be entrenched in film.
He also did the
That's
series.
Where you're entrenched in? That's
he also did the series The Following with Kevin Bacon.
And Blowies.
You guys. Oh my
What's
God.
that? Let's do.
Oh God.
The Following also great show. Great show.
Oh, dude, the following. Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah. But
it was amazing.
The way he wrote these Scream films, like I said, Scream 2 was great. I actually enjoyed Scream 2. I remember watching that one again over and over. And
I also enjoyed. You said you're shitting on Scream 3 and 4. I enjoyed them both for the creativity idea.
Yeah,
I don't know. Scream 3 as far as killing happening on the movie set. It's being based on. That's
and the whole thing
fun.
about
that's fun.
Cotton Perry, right?
Weary.
Cotton
Weary.
And that's why I was correcting.
And then in Scream 4, the introduction of basically the YouTube age of children, and the killer filming what's going on, and treating it more like their own piece of art. Well, and that creativity aspect, I'm like, I think that's a pretty good way.
Are you
staying relevant?
Are you excited about the 5th one coming out, the new one coming out?
Considering it's not supposed to be a reboot. It's not supposed to be a reboot.
So it is supposed to be a direct sequel.
Yeah, because supposedly Nev's going to be back in it. Courtney's going to be back in it.
Dewey.
I don't know if they said for sure.
No, he is.
Okay.
All 3 of them are in
but it's going to be basically shit still happening, and which is something that's very, very unique, I would say, about Ghostface as a whole. The fact that he's able to, the Ghostface is basically a mantle that can just get, anybody can use. And it works really fucking well.
All right, if you did a count of how many Ghostfaces there were, other than
2 in the original, 2 in part 2, 1 in part 3, 2 in part 4.
Wow, yes,
and that's not including the TV series, which I always wanted to watch, just never fucking get around. So I don't know if it was good or bad. But right there, that's 7 different Ghostface.
Okay. Sammy.
Sorry,
that was a shit pass, Ron.
I'm sorry, Ron.
Stu's in the middle of a tangent. Sammy.
He's like.
All right, so we've kind of touched on a lot of fun things with Scream. What we really like. I want to know people's opinion on Psychotic Fonzie. I thought Henry Winkler did awesome.
I love how you wave the fucking scissor in front of their hands. Like, if the principal did that nowadays.
There's a fucking leather jacket in the closet.
Yeah.
In
and
the closet.
When he started combing his hair afterwards,
yes.
it was just like Fonzie.
It was just like Fonzie. Yes.
I gotta watch it now. I didn't see that part.
No, and it was so great because I always thought, again, seeing it for the first time, knowing, wow,
Fonzie. Hey,
no,
what was it bad?
And Winkler only had 3 scenes.
Exactly.
3 scenes in the entire
and he came across that unhinged.
Exactly.
Well, he was also on the intercom too.
Well, yeah, but you're not seeing him in that.
He actually wanted. He asked to be uncredited during all the promotion.
Why?
Because he
didn't want to break his image of Fonzie.
No. He didn't want to take away from the younger crowd. He was worried that if he was being tagged along in with all the promotion and stuff like that,
type thing,
then it would take away from the tension from these younger people.
I give respect to him.
Doing. He's like, no, it ain't about me. I'm here for them.
So, yeah, I thought it was really cool how much Henry Winkler, was just such a spin off of what I grew up. Why are you giggling over there, Lenny? What the fuck, Lenny?
Is it me? Did I do something wrong?
No, I think it was Wrinkler instead of Winkler, and he's a big child.
Winkler.
I misspoke. That was his phone, I think.
No, I'm sorry.
Whose phone was that?
His.
What did you do?
The NFL app fucking went retarded.
Well, guess what? You get a punishment shot.
We are live recording.
I'm sorry. We were in live recording.
No,
that's not a punishment. That's he's like,
I'll take a swig of my candy corn cocktail.
Why don't you dump some of that hypnotic?
You know what's punishing?
I'm the only one who's drinking fucking liquor here. All right.
Awesome.
Anyways,
so many fucking times with my phone.
Hey, I'm giving up my Raiders time to fucking record this shit for y'all.
You said that like it was like an imposition when your team
the blue
sucks.
fairy or whatever you.
But it's my team.
That wasn't Green Fairy, and that's abstinence.
Enjoy the blue
it's blue,
fairy.
so I'm calling it the blue fairy.
It's called hypnotic, guys, not abs. What the fuck's wrong with you guys?
I don't know.
Anyways, now that I can continue on my spiel without Lenny giggling like a girl over there.
I'm sorry, Henry
Winkler. Thank you. Shut up.
Wait, what did she say?
I said Wrinkler accidentally. I misspoke. Okay. Anyway.
Sorry, it's stupid, immature. Go ahead.
Like I said, giggling like a girl over there. So anyways, but for me, I grew up watching reruns of Happy Days on Nick at Night and all of that. So that was like, the Fonz was like one of the like first crushes I had, like absolutely loved him. So seeing him literally within like 3 lines become a freaking psycho was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Hold on. What is that? What is that? What is that, Ron? Oh, no.
It's on silent.
But it's vibrating.
Well, yeah, because it's on silent.
You can turn off the fucking vibration.
Yeah.
You can?
Yes.
Yeah, mine's on.
Mine's all the way down.
Yeah, so like if I
Yes, so that right there is an interruption to the fucking program. What do you think? Punishment shot.
I don't agree. And if it's
no, we've gone through this 18,000 fucking times.
Doesn't he
It's
get
majority.
A vote? Doesn't he get a vote? Because that would be 50-50 then.
No, he doesn't, because the punishment shot would be on him.
I'm not going to be a
Technically, the
bitch.
punishment shot
I'm not
on you.
going to be a bitch.
So he's the one who would vote nay.
I'm not going to be a
we
bitch.
got 2 against 1.
I will take the shot.
How do you turn off how do you make
Just
it non-vibrant?
keep hitting down another level. It's just still, right now it's just still like a little vibrate.
Mine doesn't go any below the last one.
No, to the wind or the
that's
sun
fucking
of the
weird.
rain.
I don't know what's wrong with your goddamn phone, but that vibration.
Yeah, your superior Apple phone compared to my piece of shit Samsung.
Oh, you know what?
All right.
I've enabled do not disturb mode. That will silence everything.
That takes,
Okay, excuse me.
Yeah, and then you have to like physically see. I've got
All
it
right,
attached to my
yeah. Shoot it back already. Shoot it back already. It tastes gross. Anyways, moving on.
Okay, go on. And it tastes gross. Moving
on. We've got time to keep. All right. So there are a couple things. So I want to first ask, we're going to go round table and do, what's your favorite scary movie? And I want to know whose current ones are what.
I'm going to have to go the Tom Savini remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Ooh, that's a solid.
And it's not because it's the scariest movie. No, it's purely sentimental. That's the introduction to me of B horror movies, and that's what made me fall in love with this genre as a whole. And because I remember seeing it super late one night on like fucking TBS or some bullshit like that, and when I was probably like 8 or 9 years old, when I should have been in bed and I wasn't, and watching it, I'm like, this is fucking amazing, and falling in love with it. And then that led me down the rabbit hole for
that was
for
when you
horror
became
movies and then
work.
actual just general film appreciation.
How about you, Lenny?
You know what?
When you say scary movie, like movie that scared you, or just movie that you love that's a scary movie?
A horror film.
So I'm going to. I'm going to go ahead and do something that's going to be a little bit interesting. It's a horror movie, but it's also a sci-fi movie. Event Horizon.
Ooh,
good one.
That was a fucking that fucked me up, man. It was great.
See, I would give Sphere more of a horror sci-fi movie than Event Horizon. Event Horizon is more of a sci-fi.
No, because I would say Event Horizon is absolutely a sci-fi horror because they do the whole like interdimensional, like hell
into hell
and fucking people being ripped apart.
If it was just interdimensional, but the fact that they evoke straight up hell into it.
It copies a lot off of Hellraiser.
And that particular
Hellraiser
movie,
in space.
That particular movie is actually was
Are you gonna sneeze?
heralded for being a movie that
Trying not to.
sort of blurred the lines with sci-fi and horror. Like,
yeah.
It was a sci-fi movie, but you couldn't call it strictly sci-fi because it was absolutely a horror movie as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping we do a show on that eventually because that movie was fucking
I
awesome.
guarantee it'll come up.
This is a hard one because there's so many of them.
You can only pick one.
I know. There's so many of them. The thing is, my favorite saga is the Jason Voorhees. I love the Friday the 13th
We're talking about
series.
saga. We're talking about movie.
I know. That's why I'm trying to think of. I guess when I go to movie, this is, believe it or not, Hellraiser. Hellraiser is actually one of my favorite. horror movies.
That's a good one.
Because
that one fucks with your
Pinhead,
head.
even though Pinhead's only in the movie for like 15 minutes, other than that, just the whole Frank being the villain and just the horror, the fucking gore, the demons, everything about that movie
People
is
being
pure,
tortured and ripped apart.
Exactly, it's pure
Yeah.
horror to me. I think Hellraiser would be my all-time. Now,
she's a whore.
Like I said, I think I said in another episode.
Julia was.
Hellraiser isn't scary to me, but like the movie that ever scared me to death is always, when I was younger, was Alien, the first Alien movie. But if I were to say my favorite scary movie, it'd be Hellraiser. I'd pick that one.
Oh, right in the feels. I was going to say Hellraiser too.
Oh, look, you guys are a married couple that he completely corrupted.
It's so cute. No, same reason. Like, honestly, so again, as we alluded, when I was young and innocent before getting involved with Ron,
Young and
like,
corruptible.
yes. And I was like, oh, Jeepers Creepers is scary. And then literally like saw Hellraiser.
Jeepers Creepers was good.
No, it
all right,
wasn't.
fuck you.
Anyways,
it was good.
Directed by a pedo.
hey, it's my time. Shut up.
Oh, wow. It was awesome.
Anger.
No, I'm just saying it's my
Is it
time.
that time?
Actually, it is.
All right, I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, wait a minute. Shut up, Meow Mix. I don't want to hear it. No, but
How
honestly,
are you and Harley synced? You don't even live in the same
the
house.
alpha.
I mean, Jesus.
So no, in all honesty, no. So I did think like, I was afraid of things. And then honestly, Hellraiser was the first horror movie that I saw that I absolutely fell in love with the Cenobites. I fell in love with Pinhead and Shatter and just all of it. And after that, I was like,
How about Butterbean?
Huh?
How about Butterball?
That one? No.
You didn't like the fat one?
No. Who likes the fat one?
You called him Butterbean first.
I know. I said
Butterbean.
Butterbean, and then I corrected myself.
Butterbean.
That's Butterball's
That's a
less
boxer.
scary.
Boxer, yeah.
That's a less scary version.
Butterbean is scary.
You know what?
In real life,
Fuck
I've seen
that.
Jackass. I've
Butterbean
seen
is scary.
Jackass. Legit.
I will say another, like, just throw it out there real quick. Another like scary series that will fuck your mind up is Silent Hill.
Oh, no,
Good movie.
no.
I thought it
I'm
was
going to
decent.
disagree.
I thought
I'm
it was
sorry.
decent.
Yeah, I'm
It was
sorry.
fun.
I'm coming
It
from the
was
gaming
fun.
aspect. The games were more fucking twisted than the fucking movie.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
But like, anyways, so yeah, no, for me it was definitely Hellraiser, because it was the first one that like I watched it and it was like something just full. That was when my brain officially broke, and I just loved it. And then after that, I mean, here we are.
Like I said, there's so many.
And I don't
of
have
them.
feelings.
And it's funny, you guys are both so big into Hellraiser fans. I'm looking around this man cave that has been decorated for Halloween, and honoring scary movies.
I have Hellraiser right there
Hellraiser's
over my
literally-
bar.
Yeah, he's in the bar.
Yeah,
He's
Pinhead
up-
right over my
yeah,
bar.
he's up
But
full year.
What
Pinhead
is
is on my-
dominating the fucking scene? Beetlejuice, It. That is what's dominating the fucking scene.
Hey, if they,
Zombies.
if they
No,
release
no.
an animatronic Pinhead,
They
I will
haven't.
fucking buy it.
Okay, no. Let's rephrase. When they release one that doesn't suck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because every one that we've seen, it's garbage.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, if I'm going to put out a couple hundred, it better be
It'd be
fucking
great
amazing and on
if
point.
Sammy was like, "Oh yeah, my favorite horror movie that scared the shit out of me was Harry and the Hendersons," and we're like, "What?" Yes, just something like way out of left field that doesn't make any sense.
You know what terrified
John
me?
Lithgow was freaking me out,
You
man.
know what terrified me was Jaws. It was so scary. No, that would actually be Harley. she wouldn't. Yes. Yeah, she was terrified of Jaws.
She was. Is.
So, all right. So we've talked about
Especially
that.
this time of the month.
Shut up, Stu.
It's a real bloodbath.
It's the bears. They smell the menstruation. Anyways, so since we're kind of in the vein of horror movies, let's talk now. And I'm going to kick it over to Ron and segue into the rules that were so iconic from Screen of how to survive a horror movie.
Yes, this is the soundbite from the whole scene. I think it's one of the most best scenes because it relates to so many horror
The
movies of
iconic
that time.
Randy, played by Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy.
I said
Did you
Jamie
say-
Kennedy.
I thought you said Jimmy.
It sounded like Jimmy.
If I did, I meant to. I did say Jamie. I'm sorry if it came out. It's
Okay.
Jimmy.
Overall-
I do have a list.
Shut up, Steven.
play
Steve.
You fixed my list.
All right, here's the scene.
How can you watch this shit over and over? Shh. When do we see breasts? I want to see Jamie Lee's breasts. When do we see Jamie Lee's breasts? Breasts?
Not until Trading Places
I love
in
Matthew
83.
Lillard.
Jamie Lee was always the virgin in horror movies. She never showed her tits till
Since she went legits.
For a decent pair.
What'd you say? That's why she always outsmarted the killer in the big chase scene at the end. Only virgins can do that. Don't you know the rules? What rules? You don't... Jesus Christ, you don't know the rules?
Have an aneurysm, why don't you?
There are certain rules
Sounds like our
one must
podcast.
abide by in
Yes.
order to
Yeah.
successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex.
Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, that's in that
Yeah.
more than anything.
Big no.
I'm a dead man.
Even in popcorn, sex equals death. Okay. Number 2, you can never drink or do drugs.
I'll drink it.
I love this
Sin
scene.
factor. It's a sin. It's an extension of number 1.
This is my
and
favorite part.
Number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, "I'll be right back," because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
I fucking love that scene.
Dude.
It's
yeah.
great. It really, really is.
And the thing is,
fantastic.
those rules comply with all the movies back then, especially
Yes.
the Michael Myers, because Michael Myers was killing the
Well, I mean,
babysitters when they were
you're
having
talking about
sex.
prom night. You're talking
Well,
about really
well,
all
what-
of Jamie Lee's Scream Queen films.
Yeah.
Well, and the cool thing about this, though, is that the whole reason that they brought up these rules is because this scary movie broke those rules.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to throw out there that this, with these rules and everything else, something I wanted to jump in there, and not getting into like talking about gun control or amendments or anything else, but I'm just going to simply throw it out there that the very first scene of Scream, had that chick had a gun, shit would have went different.
No, she
Yes.
didn't, because they didn't in Scary Movie. She grabbed a banana.
She grabbed,
That's still not a gun.
So I'm just like, if she
And it
was
was
like
Carmen
trained on
Electra.
how self-defense and how to, dude would have been like, which door am I at? And she'd been like, you know what? Front door's unlocked. Have fucking at it. And he'd be like, bitch. And she'd have been like, boom, 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 done. Movie's
Sounds like,
over.
honestly,
That would only take care of half the killers, though.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. There was only, but listen, there was only one killer there in that scene because the other one was
You don't know.
actively with his girlfriend. No, because he
No.
was accounted for.
It showed that him sneaking into her room after all that shit happened.
No.
But
I'm
it doesn't
talking-
show him actually.
So what I'm saying is the night that Drew Barrymore's character died, Matthew Lillard, he was with his girlfriend all night, which means the only one that could have done it would have been Billy Loomis that
Well,
night.
you're right.
So-
I will-
Good.
yes.
That's
Good
research
pick.
right
told
there.
you, I
Good
told
pick.
you.
Good
I-
job.
Good pick.
Lenny
You're right.
brought
You're
it.
right. They were
Lenny
sitting
brought
around
it.
the fucking, on the bricks and shit like that and talking
I'm sorry.
about
Wait
their-
a minute.
Yep, you're right.
I'm pretty sure we heard Stu just get mentally derailed.
All right, I'm gonna
What
say
the
this.
fuck?
It wasn't a mental derailment.
No,
it
I
was
wanted
an
him to do
incorrection.
the sound.
The sound only works when it's natural. That wasn't natural. That was been
Fine,
forced.
All right.
whatever.
I got to bring this up.
Forced, just like when Spicy Boner lost his virginity.
What the fuck?
You just spicy bonered.
I was hoping you were going to catch that.
Spicy Boner! Oh, I'm having
You know
so
what?
much fun.
You know what? That's karma for calling me out of my freight train. Just should have let it go, man.
That's
Just should have let it go.
two. That's two in one
It's
show.
two for you also.
I love as soon as he said it, he was like, "Oh fuck, she's looking right at me. She saw it."
I got to bring this up to Lenny. I have to bring this up to Lenny.
I
Stu.
love that your
Here's
mentality though is
here's
like
your
a
blue
T-Rex
shit.
logic. If I don't move, Sammy doesn't see me.
Exactly.
All right. Does
ahead.
anybody love the garage scene when Rose McGowan comes in the garage?
Whoa, she does what?
Yeah, I want to
I
talk
was seeing
about
the extended version.
one of the things I want to say about
Something
that
a little
too.
hard.
It's just pee.
Yeah, that they did that on purpose. You know they did.
I loved it though.
Well, of course you did. No, but so
I'm sorry, my God.
here's-
Oh, her nips.
Yeah, see there
Oh,
you
the
go.
obligatory nip shot.
So I will say this about that scene. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to get all.
I'm
you
pretty
know,
sure she was just fucking cold.
I'm going to get all theorist about this too.
It reminds me from
That-
the
Hold
bowling
on,
movie
hold on,
Kingpin.
hold on.
The person that killed her again had to have been Billy Loomis because
No, I think it was Stu.
it couldn't have been Stu because Stu was sitting in the living room actively watching a movie.
Yeah,
when
asking
she got
where
killed.
Jamie Lee Curtis's testicles were.
So when that was going on, it had to have been
But
Billy
Stu
Loomis.
left to go and say, "I'll be right back."
Oh,
But
I
he
think
was-
that's when he killed her.
No, because that was much later.
I
She
thought it was
left-
earlier.
She left,
I thought it was
No,
because she
no,
left.
no.
She left on
It
a
was
beer
before.
run to go get beer, and he was still in the living room when she went to go get beer. It was much later when he said, "Hey, I'll be right back."
Yeah, it was before.
Now, here's the thing I got to ask you, too.
I want to say I saw a thing from Skeet during one of the the fan panels where Skeet Ulrich directly says, no, that was Stu who was doing the killing.
It couldn't have been. And the reason
except for they don't show, all they're doing is, they're not even saying this is exactly happening at this time. They could have been showing that the movie stuff was being asked at the same time that she was out there trying to gather up all those beers.
It's possible, but honestly, I believe that it was Billy Loomis's character. But I will say this about that. Dude took a beer bottle to the face. And then shortly after that, Billy Loomis shows up. And he's got no marks on his face. Yep. Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, if someone threw a full beer bottle at your face hard enough for it to break, it would break your fucking nose at a bare minimum.
Yes.
So, no, I'm just making a point.
Were we arguing?
No, we're not making a point.
No, Ron should have played that when you were arguing. I'm sitting there going, the bell. And he's like, what?
We all know Ron's mentally delayed.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyways, continue.
Go ahead.
Such a dick. And
so
Stu's a dick.
The garage scene also was kind of like, I don't know. I felt it was kind of, there was definitely, this is one of those horror movies where like watching it, there are several different times that you're like, that person could have survived had they done X, Y, and Z. And with her, I mean, I think that situation.
I want to know what happened.
She fought back. I gave her credit.
But here's the problem.
She fought back.
Here's the problem.
To me, it was the most unrealistic scene in the movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we already talked about the hanging from the thing.
No, to me, the fact that she was fighting back, she didn't just all of a sudden, run away like,
okay. Again, I want to know why the fucking garage door didn't open when she hit the button. She hit the garage door, and it did not move.
I thought.
No. The same little switchy thing that she hit
I thought
to open it.
he flicked the power switch at that time.
The same switch that the killer uses is she literally goes to it at the beginning when she's by the door.
After the power had gone out and it was out, and she was slapping that, trying to get stuff to open, and there was no power, so there's no power to go to it. And then when he comes back in, he must have some sort of button that flips the fuse or something like that, and that's when the power comes up, and he's there.
I mean, the fuse box would be in the garage.
Yeah, it would be in the garage.
Why would he fucking Ghostface walk over and be like, "Hold on," and flip the baby?
No, but no.
Why would he flip it back on though?
For that dramatic reveal of when he's standing on the stairs,
so
where it's dark and she goes out.
No, Stu does have a point.
Yeah.
He does have a point.
Yeah, when the light comes back on,
entrance.
he's standing on the stairs, right in between her exit and her. It was a dramatic reveal. So it could have been set up on some remote switch, like in his pocket or something like that, which disables the fuse and re-enables the fuse.
He's got a point.
On some, that's a very simple remote system right there that you could have disabled and re-enabled. Because it was dark when she was trying to hit the buttons, trying to get the garage door to open, and it wasn't opening because it was dark because there was no power.
That's garbage. Moving on.
No, it's not.
So, I'm sorry, you have a magical breaker interrupter button?
All it is a simple fucking switch.
You're a simple fucking switch. So we kind of talked about the rules. All right, you've got all these great things. Now, we're going to bring up the obligatory sex scene, okay, that happens between Sydney and Billy Loomis.
Which is shot really fucking well to be an obligatory sex scene.
Yes.
That's not an obligatory sex scene.
Exactly. No, it was very well done, but here's my problem with it, okay? As, again, the resident chick on our show. Why the fuck would she, after doing the deed and cashing in her virginity card, then turn around and be like, who did you call when you were in prison? Like, what the fuck? I'm sorry. If even there was an inkling that I'm about to bang a serial killer, like, it wouldn't have happened.
I don't think she had thought about that beforehand. It was one of those things that goes through your mind as she's in dress.
I think she was thinking of having sex with him before asking that question. She's not a dude.
And because you guys can literally, like mentally check out and be like, okay, I can do the deed. Okay, what? Who? Oh, you killed 5 people. That's great. Can we do it again? Like, no. Chicks aren't wired that way. I'm sorry. If she even had that... And she did, because it's been alluded to, because she was super fucking awkward with Billy after he got arrested and all of that.
And I'm pretty sure...
I don't understand how she did the deed.
Billy was gay. I am pretty sure Billy was gay.
I don't know. Some days the way that Stu like lingers on him.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Billy was actually gay, and he had just come out of the closet yet and shit like that. That severe mama boy fucking mentality and fucking connection that he has. I'm just like, I am pretty sure that motherfucker was gay. He was probably banging Stu in the ass. All right, and they're just keeping it fucking hush hush.
Wow, wow.
That's funny because he played a gay guy in As Good as It Gets. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, no, but again, I think it's funny that Scary Movie literally, again, blew that basically out, that's the ending in Scary Movie is that, the two dudes are in fact like involved, and he's like, but you made love to me. And he's like, you did.
Oh man.
So
makes me want to watch that movie again.
So it's a great one. But no, and I know I'm not the only one who felt that was like off kilter. I know Lenny has thoughts about that scene as well, so I'm going to kick it over there.
I just, for me, it was more of a.
Oh, great. He's not going to have my back.
No, it's not that. It was just a very awkward sex
Because
scene.
he was gay.
It wasn't believable.
Because he was gay.
And like the way he was like, I don't know, man. Like the stuff he was doing, he's just like, no, I'm going to grab your boob. Nah. Like the way he was doing stuff with her, I was just like, it was awkward and weird. And the whole time, like Neve Campbell, I don't know if she was portraying this the way like this was on purpose, but she definitely did not have the look of a girl who was like actually wanting to have sex or was into it, because she was very like like she's just kind of putting up with this guy doing this stuff to her.
You want to sleep with a gay dude?
He kind of looks like a trout flopping on her for a while.
Yes, and she's just kind of like, he's touching me, I guess I'll just let it go. I don't know, man. The whole scene was fucking awkward and weird.
But it makes more sense if he's gay, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, because then he's like, I'm making love to a girl. Yeah. But it's just awkward.
Exactly.
I'm cashing in all my men points.
Yeah, it was awkward. I don't know, man. It was very awkward and weird.
He had a lot of repressed homosexuality tendencies from being a mama's boy who had abandonment fucking issues. He was butt fucking Matthew Lillard's character, and that's what he was dominating Stu, and that's why Stu was the fucking follower. All right, and that's the whole explanation right there.
Or it could just be that the scene...
Too easy to literally make so many jokes at you right now.
The scene between the two of them could have been awkward too, because he like fucking hates her.
Well, there is that deep, like he wants to kill her.
Yeah.
But he's also like, all right, I'll cash out my chips because this is now an option kind of thing.
Well. Yeah.
But now I can
honestly
kill you because it doesn't break the rules.
Okay, however, I don't know if it's necessarily... I think what Neve Campbell was trying to go for is, again, she's this really like dealing with a lot of shit with her mom being murdered and trying
for being
to like
a whore.
Yeah, she is a whore too. Anyways, again,
she is labeled throughout the whole series that she is a whore of the town.
Oh no, yeah, no, 100%. Like,
and it's explained in part 3.
But she was in
what triggered her whoreness.
But Neve Campbell's character was
Nev.
All right, Neve Campbell's character was basically in denial.
Nev.
It's Nev.
It's Neve Campbell. For God's
God
sake.
damn, both of y'all. Is his words are hard fucking spreading to you?
Yes.
Neve.
Jesus.
Neve Campbell.
I didn't know words are hard was an STD.
There's a girl that says Neve.
We are the Campbells that say Niv. What the fuck? Oh God.
Anyways, okay, we have a lot of fun things going on, but I do feel that rigidness would be there if you, as a woman, are trying to like get past your own mental hangups to actually do the deed.
Yeah.
Because she alluded to it with Tatum earlier in the thing, talking about, oh, if I don't sleep with him, he's gonna leave me. Which fuck him. Fuck Billy Loomis. He's a dick. But no, anyway, so I that didn't come across as awkward for me so much. To me, it actually looked like she was kind of trying to take on like.
But I also kind of understand Billy Loomis's motivations. If somebody broke up my fucking family, and after I fucking killed that person, I still didn't feed that fucking that emptiness inside me, that void.
Well, no, I mean,
I'm going to go to the next fucking person that I could, which would be her.
No, it would have been actually Casey, technically. Or unless Stu was the one that popped that one. So
no, Casey wasn't one. I mean, no. Billy Loomis had the emptiness, the void in him because
his mom left.
Yeah, his mom left because his dad was fucking her mom.
Yeah, Sydney's mom.
Sydney's mom. All right. So after I kill the fucking mom. Yeah. And of course, that's not going to actually fix anything realistically. That's not going to fill the void. All it's going to do is leave you actually hunger for more bloodlust.
It's an addiction.
Yes.
Like anything else.
All right. So the next thing you're going to do is, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go to the next person. I'm not blaming the dad. I'm going to take out my fucking rage on the spawn of the whore, which will be Sydney.
No, I get that. Yeah. But then technically, if that's your rationale, then why was Casey and Steve killed?
That was more to feed Stu's.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
that was
then by
Stu's.
your rationale, Stu would have been killing him off or whatever. Okay.
That was they did basically a tit for tat. I'll do one for you, you do one for me type situation. So they killed the mom for Billy Loomis. Then they killed Casey and Steve for Stu, and back and forth. Back when they were trading deaths for each other.
All right. So whether or not, their motivation was suppression to the point that now Stu and Billy are an item, or, the fact that
I really thought you were like Stu and fucking Lenny are an item because we were both in agreement. Very well could be gay. I thought that's where you were fucking going.
You know what? I don't have to say anything. Listeners, you draw your opinions. So anyways, but now let's go ahead and we'll round this out with, let's talk about our favorite character of Scream. You can pick whomever, and I'm going to kick it off over to Lenny.
For me, it's going to be Stu for sure. Stu is the thing I liked about him when I saw him back when I was when I was 12, 13. He struck me as being like that super cool, like teenager. I don't know. And I like watching it now as an adult. I still think he's like really cool. He's funny. He's a good looking guy. He's got, and then like when he kind of flips the script and goes like psychotic, it's the actor Matthew Lillard, like the intensity he brought to that character was really fucking cool. But the thing I love too is that in the midst of that psychoness, there's that aspect of comedy. Like when he's on the phone, and he's like, "Did you really call my mom and dad?" Go ahead.
Fucking hit me with the phone, Dad!
Again, sounds like our podcast.
Yeah.
Did you really call the police?
Mr. Sorry ass.
My mom and dad
I fucking love that scene. God, that made me laugh.
Matthew Lillard was an awesome person of improv.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
Like that was awesome. And another scene where I think you really see the psychoticness in him, even though you don't know he's the killer yet, is when they are in the video store and all of a sudden
Randy
like turns and Billy's right there. And Billy like grabs him and he's like, "How do we know you're not the killer?" And then fucking Stu comes up from behind him and like grabs his shoulders like he's holding him there, almost like symbolically, like as if Billy was gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
And that intensity, that moment was kind of like it was that first time where I was like,
was it them?
Maybe it is them, because they're both fucking kind of psychotic right now. Super cool, man. Love Stu. Anyways, go on.
No, I'm in the same camp. I'm also pro Stu in Scream, not on the show. And so
fuck you.
And so no, and I agree. I think that Matthew Lillard just really it's honestly, like, he's a great actor. He really showed his chops, I feel, in this, with the improv, with the lines. He brings that level of crazy and comedy, and it's believable.
I love it.
Like even at the end when he like freaking tackles Sydney and everything, he's like, "Oh, is that a thing for you, Sid?" And like he ends up getting smashed in the face with the TV. Like it's that level of just crazy and funny and off kilter that it's amazing. And it's not only, I feel he did the same thing in 13 Ghosts.
Yeah.
Like really brings it home. Like just this level of still really funny, but still like out of his mind on a different level in that one, obviously.
Did you, in your research, see the story of how he got cast into this film?
Into this film?
Yes.
No, I read a lot of websites. So
all right. So he was at the production studio where he was taking his girl to go out for a trial. What do you call that again?
An audition.
An audition. Thank you. I went insane for a second there. I went Ron level. And words are hard. But one of the people that were there, the casting agents, they were there. They saw Matthew Lillard and like, "Hey, come in here, read for this." Let's see, just because they liked the way he fucking looked, and he fucking hit it out the goddamn park.
You know why? Because they looked at it and go, "You know who you need to cast in this role? Shaggy from Scooby Doo."
Exactly.
Yes.
And he fucking hit it out the goddamn park. And they're like, "Yep, that." Yes, he needs to be in this fucking film because of the way he can improv and roll with comedy. The same way Jamie Kennedy, I read, is that
Jamie
Kennedy.
Why does it keep sounding like Jimmy?
Sounded like you said Jimmy.
It's Jamie.
It literally
I
sounds
know
like
it's Jamie.
Jimmy.
The Jamie Kennedy experiment. I know Jamie Kennedy. I know Jamie Kennedy. I
Jimmy
wouldn't
again.
fucking call him Jimmy.
Apparently, Stu has a speech issue where A's are pronounced as I's, and so
It very well fucking could be. I do have a speech impediment. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you.
for this episode because you've been his little buddy.
How about you, Stu? Who's your favorite?
Okay, so
I'm really curious.
I really like the way Fred responded. It really, worked in my heart.
That was it. Oh my goodness.
Henry Winkler. I would have to say that as the principal.
Really?
Him being, you could tell
He's
he
in
cared.
there for like 5
I
minutes.
know.
Psycho
And he cared
Fonzie for
so
the
much
win.
about the students, but then lost his shit so goddamn
That was
well.
brilliant. It really was.
He did a good job.
awesome-
Yes, it was like, this is
gut you
amazing.
like the little shits that you are.
I want him
With
to be
the
my
fucking
principal.
Scissors. Holy
Yeah.
crap, those
No.
scissors were
He's like,
huge.
you're both expelled. Get out. I was like, oh my God.
I mean, honestly, like he pulled out
Hardcore.
freaking scissors that looked like damn hedge clippers.
Yes.
These are huge.
Yes, and I was like, this is the principal I deserve right here. And I don't know, identified with
So
with
few
him so much.
principals,
It is.
threaten
It
murder
is.
to get their points across.
But they
in today's
want to. They want to.
I mean,
all right.
can you? All right. moving
Exactly.
on.
I would be fucking threatening to stab goddamn students every fucking day if I was a principal.
Where
I don't
my
care what
scissors
grade
at?
I'm in.
Where's my scissors at? I don't care if it was just a spitball. Where are my scissors?
Exactly.
See, all right.
What about you, Ron?
Mine's is Randy. I like
No, Randy was cool.
I think he's smart. I think he's the big movie
Voiced
geek.
by
Which,
Jimmy Kennedy, right? I'm sorry, Jamie Kennedy? Even.
Okay, I see. You're trying to make fun of Stu.
Even.
You making fun of me? You making fun of me?
I love his whole thing about.
We got to keep it going for the show.
I might be able to claim disability for my speech impediment. And
Anyways.
nowadays, for all I fucking know.
All right. I love
Doesn't
the thing.
count. I've got this.
And you fucking claim it.
Okay, Ron. That's
Trying to say something.
4 times he's been interrupted. Go ahead.
Anyways,
Oh my God! No!
Wrong sound.
You suck so bad.
Can we call a punishment shot for having a brain train on a brain train?
You're the worst. There's been at least 3 incidences where that yippee-ki-yay would have been perfect.
And we pointed to you multiple fucking times, and you're not there.
Then you finally have an opportunity to do it right, and you push the wrong fucking
It's
button.
this button. Sammy's on it now.
And she's not even the producer.
all right. Anyways,
Hold on.
no.
Fuck it. I'm taking a chance. Punishment shot? I'll take the chance. Fuck it. I'm rolling with it.
I'm going to go weak.
I've got it.
All right, you have voted. Ha ha. Ha ha. Take it, bitch.
Why are you staring at me? He fucked you, not me.
This is the fucking third.
Exactly.
You're fine. Sober as a judge. Calm down.
Look at him. He's like,
It's not the sober. It's
you
the
live
fucking
here.
taste. All right. Well, anyways, let me go ahead and take this fucking peanut butter piece of shit.
Hey, you need when you go to the ABC store for the next episode, you might need a new bottle, buddy.
I provided that one, so.
So, who's your favorite?
Anyways, Randy's my favorite. He's the
Yeah.
movie geek.
Yeah.
I love his scene with the whole thing about everybody's a suspect. The whole thing about the video.
But Randy
Blockbuster
appreciated
Video World type of
movies all
store.
his life. You could tell that, unlike you.
It's like, I thought they fired your sorry ass.
Oh, my God.
Twice.
Anyway,
He said it so proudly.
Yeah.
What I love to do.
what I love about that scene is you could see everybody looking at him and saying, "This guy's fucking psychotic. This
Yes.
guy's crazy." And
Yeah.
they're all walking away from him.
But he's the one who called out the killers both fucking
Yeah,
times.
no,
Yes.
and that's the thing. And
Yeah.
he's a smart one. I mean, just like his whole fucking scene at the end when Billy is down and he says, "This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare." I fucking loved it because it was perfect for the ending scene and everything else. And also the whole rules and everything, the whole movie geek. I thought he was smart. And I think he dies in the second one, which sucks.
Yes, he does.
Yes, Randy.
But he does appear in the third one.
He was good
Yeah,
in
you're
the
right.
second one. He was good in the second
No,
one.
he was
too.
great. I loved his character, Randy.
See,
the
I
most.
think they pimped him out too much in the second one.
Because he was
Really?
so.
Yeah, he went from super fucking nerdy to kind of like a swinging dick confidence level.
Yeah,
That
no, you're right.
happens,
You're
though,
right.
sometimes.
No, that,
well,
that
and
happens.
keep in mind, it's in film class.
It
Like,
is,
breaking
but no,
down
he just
that
kind of
he's like-
carried. He carried that swinging
Swagger.
dick swagger with him.
Swagger.
You know, when he's talking with Sydney, and so like, oh no, we're not going to do this. Blah blah blah. blah. You
But
know,
I mean,
so,
wouldn't
I was
you-
just like,
wouldn't you, if you could survive like a mass bloodbath, like you have a little bit of swagger, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess, but also you survive with mass bloodbath by getting fucking stabbed and shit. I mean, it's just the killer was just incompetent at his job.
I like
it wasn't anything you did.
The thing I love the fact about Randy is that he was so like thinking that, oh, well, Neve actually go out with me.
Neve.
Oh, God.
Shut up.
Spicy boner.
The Kembles who say Neve.
All right, so we had ourselves a spicy boner moment. And so, God,
This is like
I
Ron's
love that I
18th
coined that
punishment
phrase.
shot.
So
This is my fourth one.
Ron's gonna
Third
do
or fourth one.
Ron's gonna do a fourth one here, so enjoy, Ron.
Yum, yum, yum,
Oh,
yum, yum,
yummy,
yum.
yummy peanut
And
butter.
that bottle
in my
is just about
tummy.
dead. You
So-
need to pick up another bottle when you hit the ABC store.
I will when I pick up the liquor for the show that I'm doing next.
Okay.
I hardly know her.
Did anybody ever tell you how funny you are?
Yeah.
And
all
then
the
they
time.
lied to you. They
Fuck
fucking
you.
lied to you.
You told me. You told me.
I just wanted to throw it out there because I didn't get to say it earlier that, like, you were talking about
Rose McGowan.
Rose McGowan. Okay. Here's
She's
the
hot.
thing.
She's fucking hot.
She's
Marilyn Manson's girlfriend at the time.
She's okay.
Was it at the time?
I believe
was
so.
not. I wasn't. Or shortly thereafter, she was. She was okay. I wasn't like a big fan. I think part of it was her personality just kind of turned me off. I will say Courtney Cox in this was when Courtney Cox was like in her prime.
Yes. Yeah,
And
no, I agree.
She was really sexy, really pretty. I liked her a lot in this movie.
And she fought hard for that role.
Yeah, I was.
Did she really?
Yeah, because she wanted to be playing the quote unquote bitch, using her own words.
Yeah.
And she was being typecast as the nice person because of her friend's role.
Really?
So she
Yeah.
wanted to be a bitch.
And
so she
she-
fought hard for that role.
She did a good job.
She does.
too.
She
Yeah, she
definitely
does.
comes across as a bitch.
Like you can
And-
tell that with her, liking.
Because the casting officers originally fucking were saying no because they thought
You're Monica,
they were
you
saying
can't
too
do
nice
this.
of a role.
Yeah.
See, and she like her doing that part. You can tell like she's attracted to Dewey, but there's definitely an end to the means of why she's even bothering to give him the time of day. And it's not just because she's really attracted to him. There's also
Literally, because they ended up
'cause
together
there's-
after this.
They did, but there was initially there was that cutthroat of I'm going to use this relationship to my advantage to see what I can get as far as getting a story and stuff goes. Which, by the way, one other thing I'm going to comment, and then I'm done. I couldn't stand Dewey's fucking Kid Diddler mustache. That mustache was fucking terrible.
Pencil thin mustache.
And he was in the,
navy
he was actually in his
He
early 20s.
was actually literally 25. No, he is
Yeah, he was
25, the age. And Courtney Cox at the time was 30. I wrote it down. She was 6 years older, so 31.
Wow, I didn't know there was that much of an age difference.
Yeah.
Dude, you know the thing about Courtney Cox. You know how she really wanted the role because she wanted to be that bitch character. I think a lot of actors out there enjoy being like the villain, the bad guy at one time in their life. I mean, think of Denzel Washington Training Day.
Because people root for the bad guy.
Yeah, no, and those are
I didn't
fun
root for
roles
Gail
to do.
fucking
I mean,
Weathers.
people don't always want to be. I mean,
Was she the bad guy or she was just a bitch? But people like being a bad
She
guy.
was a bitch that's trying to be successful and be.
but she was a bitch throughout all the movies.
Well,
wasn't
in
she?
order to be to be like the top of the food chain when it comes to like being a reporter, you have to be a
That's a
cutthroat,
fucking professionalism, Steve.
slimy fucking person because you've got to be able to do things that other people aren't willing to do.
I felt bad for Kenny. She was so mean to Kenny. Even to the point that he's literally throat fucking thrash on top. Get off my fucking windshield! Like
She
she's
was
such a fucking ass.
oh my god,
they killed Kenny.
That part where she goes, Kenny, I know that you're about 50 pounds overweight, but the next time I say let's go, please interpret that as move your fat tub of lard fucking ass now.
No, remember Scary
nice.
Scary
Yeah,
movie?
really did.
Remember in Scary Movie? You had the fat cameraman that was with the reporter chick says, "I grazed your boob. I touched it just a little bit." Remember?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, dude. I was
By
like,
the
I was like,
SNL
oh my
chick,
god,
that chick
she's
from SNL.
so mean. Anyways,
Oh my gosh. But no. So okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Was there a chick that you wanted to bang from the movie, Stu? Because that's apparent. I totally went Steven again. I'm sorry.
Well, Sammy, I know
All
you bang
of
Matthew
them.
Lillard.
I mean,
I would totally bang Matthew.
There you go. See,
100%.
it's a female.
I bang him
opposite.
as fucking Shaggy. He's hot.
I would. All of them. Is that an option? I mean, because they were all hot in their own ways.
I think Matthew Lillard as a hippie is just perfect
Sydney
combo
was
for
that
it.
pure.
Which is actually why he still does the voice of Shaggy for like a bazillion Scooby-Doo.
Sydney was that purity that you just wanted to file. Gail was that bitch that you knew she would know what she wanted in the fucking bedroom. Rose McGowan's character was that freak that would just anything goes, no holds barred, all holes open. All right. Yeah.
Stu has summed it up. Fist pound, my friend.
All right. And hold on, wait a minute. Shh. Do you hear that? That's the sound of my skin crawling. All right.
And Drew Barrymore's character proved that she was a cheating whore.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. She totally opened herself up there. Sorry.
Yeah, she did.
And then it was literally opened up. On our pint system, we're going to go round table to wrap up this fantastic 1996 slasher, iconic slasher Scream. For me, I'm going to give it a solid 3. It, to this day, I mean, it's not, the epitome of awesomeness, but it is definitely one of my favorite slasher movies. Ghostface, I think, is one of the more fun killers because of that ambiguity, and it really can be anybody, as the killer. I just love it. That being said, go ahead, Stu. How many pints?
3 pints. Wow.
Trying to take out the emotionality that I'm connected with. Just rating it as a film by itself, I'm going to go 3 pints.
Oh my gosh, we actually agree.
Yep. Just rating as a film by itself, 3 pints. The acting was fine.
Yeah.
Was the writing the tightest it could have been? The lines as useful as they could have been? No. The gore was walking that line, and you can tell
For its time, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't this one the goriest out of the 3 or out of the 4?
No, not by a long shot.
Okay, I haven't seen the other. I haven't seen the other.
However, I do feel like bowlings were not super common, even in the 90s. Like bowlings,
but the only
pushing it.
I mean, to me, the 2 most gruesome would have been the
Casey.
very first 2. It would have been Casey and Steve, and Steve's to me was
technically
more
alluded to for the principal because he was also gutted and hanging from.
But Steve was the most gruesome, I would think, and because they actually showed.
He was
him
hollowed out.
With the live action.
So was she, though. She was feeling us like
but that
a
was a
deer.
complete dummy. That was a complete dummy.
Oh,
that was
versus
hanging.
the
where he
real-
was actually there and actually kind of that half head torso through the
Except
back
for
of a
pancreas,
chair.
that was in the mailbox.
It kind of reminded me. It kind of reminded me of Day of the Dead when the intestines were falling out.
Yeah, they
That's what
said
it reminded me of.
it's not the scariest. It's not the best written. The acting was decent for what it was.
Yeah,
it was. But it was a lot of young actors also who still hadn't gotten 100% comfortable with their voices, I don't think. So I would give it a 3, taking out my emotional connection to it, my respect for what it did for the genre.
And of course, it being your boy Wes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just as a film by itself, I'd probably give it a 3.
I'm trying to remember when you did the People Under the Stairs episode. Did you rate this in your top 3
No.
of Wes Craven
No, I
films?
didn't.
Okay, I didn't know if you did or not. How about you, Lenny?
So yeah, I would give it a solid 4.5 myself.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
good review.
That's a big swing.
Reason why is because
Spicy boner. Fuck me. Yes.
so much
Yes.
spice.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm loving this day. Third
Yes.
one.
Yes. All right.
What the fuck?
All right.
So I'll keep
once
talking.
again, I'm getting my shot poured. My punishment. I accept.
4.5
I totally
pints
did.
from Lenny. Why?
But that
Lenny?
is
Hey,
a
guess
Ron
what? You need to buy a
mayhem
bottle
level.
of hypnotic
this
stew.
is
You
the
are
first-
running
see
low.
that.
This is the first show I think I've been on where I haven't had any punishment shots, and I'm surrounded.
We're
by
taking
You
this
better
in.
knock on that fucking wood. Seriously.
I ain't scared.
Okay.
All right, fine. I'll knock a little bit. There we go. So, they're like punishment shot for knocking on the table.
I never thought this day would happen that you would have that many punishment shots, dude.
What sound was that?
So the reason why I get this film 4.5 is because it was definitely our era of horror movies.
Yeah, no, I
okay,
agree
it
with you on
definitely
that.
set that bar. Also, I like I said, I thought that the acting, the comedy bit to it, but then also like the jump scare factor, the gore factor. I think it had a decent blend of all of those things. It wasn't too over the top necessarily on any point. And honestly, I will say that this movie does hold a lot of nostalgia for me. Not because of that first date and all that, but because I remember, I remember that when I was that age and going to school, and like as soon as I see this film, because I watched it recently because we were doing this show, it instantly took me back to that time when I was, in 8th grade, and like all my close friends I had back then, and just the life that I had, being a kid. I just, there's a lot of nostalgia attached to this film for me as well. So that's another reason why.
So I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a 3.5 pints. And the reason why is because this movie is entertaining as fuck. Seriously. And the thing is, in the past, I didn't appreciate it more, and I don't understand why, because it's really pretty damn good. I mean, Billy and Stu at the end, just that whole finale scene between both of them was just so entertaining, seeing them interact with each other, especially when they're stabbing each other and they're just like looking at each. I fucking loved it. I thought it was just great. And also, Nev Campbell did a good job. Rose McGowan was really good. Hot to look at, I'm not going to lie. And Ghostface, I think the whole Ghostface costume actually worked out pretty well because it's all masks, just like Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees and stuff like that. I could see this being a true Halloween movie to watch. It's a cult movie. I mean, it's gained a lot of cult status. So yeah, but also it's like I said, it's 90s. All the old school. You saw the old school little brick cell phones and everything else.
Yeah,
and everything. It's fucking wonderful, man. I love this movie. So this movie's become my top one Wes Craven film because I'm not really a big Wes Craven fan. I love People Under the Stairs. I like Vampire in Brooklyn, but this one is my number one when it comes to Wes Craven. And his other ones are good. Scream 2 is great. Scream 3, it's okay. Scream 4, I really don't even remember that much. I'm gonna have to give it another chance. But also we have that new one coming out, Scream 5. So I'm really curious how that's going to turn out. But I don't think it's ever going to touch this one. This one is by far the best one and amazing. So 3.5.
So, listeners, thank you for joining us for this, our first installment in our slasher series with Ghostface and Scream from 1996. If we average together all of our pints and get a new, liver, it'll come out to about 4 pints for our review. Thank you, guys, and, don't fear the Reaper.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to our podcast, Barrel Age Flicks. We are so excited for the upcoming episodes headed your way and bonus episodes of The Small Batch, Sammy Selects, and now the new Tasting Room. If you like our show, please spread the word, give us a like, or leave us some kind of review on any of the social media pages. Give us a follow on Instagram, Barrel Flicks, or Facebook, Barrel Age Flicks. Our podcast is available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Anchor, Radio Public, Audible, Pocket Cast, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and now Pandora. Please shoot us an email at barrelageflicks@gmail.com with comments and movie suggestions for future shows or any other things you'd like to let us know. Credit to Carl Casey at White Bat Audio on YouTube. Man, your music is awesome. We thank you so much for that. It's great. You guys go ahead and check him out. I just want to say thank you so much. We hope to see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening. See you then.